What's up, guys? Welcome to our Dart programming course. We are really excited to guide you through everything you need to know about Dart from beginner to advanced topic. I'm Remy with your guy Godson.
That's right. By the end of this course, you'll be writing that code like a pro. And if you are interested in building mobile apps with Flutter, this course is perfect foundation.
So what do you understand by Dart? Dart is a programming language created by Google. It's modern, object-oriented, and super fast.
Okay, think of that as engine under the hood of Flutter apps. Without it, the Flutter can't run. But that isn't just for Flutter. It can also run on web servers, on website, and server.
Yeah, that's right. Some of the apps you use there are powered by Flutter and Dart, like Google Ads and even part of eBay.
Okay, actually, why do we need to learn that? Why that? Learning that has three big benefits. Like the first of all, you can build mobile apps with Flutter. You can build websites, desktop applications, and even backend with the same language. It is easy to learn if you already know languages like Java, JavaScript, or C Sharp.
Yeah, and even if you are totally new to coding, you are a beginner, don't worry. We will explain everything step by step.
So now that we know what Dart is, let's get everything set up and write our very first Dart program.
First, let's set up Dart on your machine. Head over to the official website of Dart at dart.dev. So click on Get Dart, and we see that we have our operating system, Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. So first of all, on Windows, you have to install Chocolate. So to install Chocolate, you have to open your terminal by pressing Window X, and click on terminal. So here we are going to type winget install minus minus id chocolate minus e, and click enter to install it. But I already installed it. So if you don't have chocolate, you have to run this command. So next command we are going to run is, I'm going to copy this command, choc install that minus sdk. So go ahead on your terminal, copy that and paste it. And for me, I already installed the dot minus SDK. So to check your version, you have to run this command. And also, if you install that right now, you have to close your terminal and open it again in order to see that you have installed that successful. Paste that minus version and click enter. We show you the version of that you installed that time. So now if you want to upgrade that, you run this command. In a future time, if you see that your that is out of version, you have to run that. And if you want to install that using chocolate, you have to run choc install that minus sdk, and also go to your environment and remove that. But you can run this command also to remove it. So but I hope no one is going to remove that. We're going to study it together.
Another pro tip, if you want to learn Flutter later, you don't need to install that separately. It comes bundled with Flutter.
Yeah, that's it. But if you just want to try that without storing anything, you can use that pad in an online editor. Just go to datpad.dev and you will see this that editor, but I don't recommend you to use this because sometimes it crashes, chance sorry. You can continue with me by installing your favorite editor like VS Code, like IntelliJ IDE, so Sabrin text. So you have to install your favorite editor. So for me, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code. Open it and are going to run our first that 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 program. So create a folder and open a folder in your Visual Studio. So if you want to open a folder, click here and right click and new folder and type first that first program. Let's call it first program and select that folder. So click to add new file and hello call it hello. But to enable to use this language in Visual Studio Code, you have to install the extension of this that. Go to the extension tab and search for that and install it. And also you can install Flutter if you want, but that is is the only one. You can also install Flutter. So here we are going to type our first program, or you type void name and open pipe braces and type print hello world. This is our hello world program. And to run it, you have to click here. We see that we have our output hello world.
Now, actually, let's get to know what's happening. The main, this is the main function. The main function is an entry point of every dot program, where each program has to have this main method. This print is used to, it's a built-in function that shows the text in the console. And also, every line in that try to have this semicolon. It is required to have this semicolon to identify the end of the line.
So you can turn and change the text inside the print statement. For example, write your own name instead of hello world. Uh,
I write mine in print hello world from Godson.
so
Now
I
you try yours.
so I can write hours. And if we run it, So you have to see that we have our hello world from Remy and Godson. So go and try it and change the text inside print as you understand what print is and what we use, what our main function is. So try to change the name. So, and also you can also write print statement in the same program. So you can also write many print statement and go here and write again print. So you know that you have to end your print with semicolon to help the program don't get errors. So we can type that this is this is line 2. And also you can type another line print learning is fun. Learning is funny. And also end your print with semicolon.
Here, what you need to know is that in Dart and some other programming languages, it will print all of them from the top to the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened if we forgot the semicolon? As we said, if you forgot the semicolon and try to run your code, we get an error, unexpected error. Error are also normal in programming and they help you to fix your code. If you get an error that you know that you can fix the error. And so error are normal to every person. You can fix your code if you get an error and put semicolon. And if you run it again, we will get to see there is no problem. So in this module, we introduced that, set up our environment, and also wrote our very fast program.
That's a huge step. Now you understand how that works at the most basic level. In the next module, we will start exploring that basics like variables, data types, and operators. So, great job finishing module 1.
See you in next lesson. Ciao, ciao.
Late nights, I'm lost in the screen. Once a call feel like poetry to me. Building worlds, got a vision so clean.
Welcome back. In this lesson, we are diving into one of the most important concepts in programming, variables and data types.
Okay, think of variables like containers or boxes where we store information. A data type tells that what kind of information goes in each box.
So here we are going to explain 4 variables, an integer, a double, a string, and a boolean.
And notice the syntax. We first write the type, then the name, then the value.
So for example, here we are going to start with variable integer. So let me type like int. Int is a data type, and also int age, like put your age, like 21. So what's going on here? Int is a data type, age is a variable name, and 21 is a value assigned to a variable. So imagine a box labeled age that only accepts whole numbers. You just press the number 21 inside the box. So Here, that means that we use int to store the whole numbers. So I'm going to print here the edge. You have to write print, and you don't put inside the data type, you put the variable name, age. So if you try to run your code and type dot hello dot, you see that our output is 21. So that means our age variable stored the variable 21. Our variable name age is stored 21 value. So let's continue by explaining double.
Okay, actually, we use double for decimal numbers. As int, we first write double as our data type. Then let me choose pi as a variable name, which is equal to 3.14. So here, double stores floating point numbers like the decimal numbers. Pi is a variable name, and 3.14 is a value of that variable. Like this is like a measuring cup labeled pi that holds precise the value like 3.14. Let's print the pi. Okay, now it is 3.14. Now we can proceed to string variable.
So by continuing to string variable string, so here we use string to store text or characters. So we write string variable name. As we said in syntax, you have to start with data type and continue with variable name and continue with our value or our text. So we write string name equal our name. So our name on string you have to put in quotation. So here I'm going to type Remy and end with semicolon. So you can ask yourself what's going on here. String, as I said, it stores a sequence of character or a text. So a name is a variable name and Remy is like a value. So think of the name tag labeled name, you write arrays on it. So that's what means. So here we are going to print our name. So to see that our name is working, print name, you print variable name. Print name and end with semicolon. If you try to run it again, you see that we have Remy printed. So let's continue by Boolean.
Okay, now Boolean variable is used to store only true possible values, and those are true or false. In Boolean, we write bool, then a variable name, as we said before in the syntax, then the value. Here we can choose a variable name like is a student, then equals to true. So this means is a student variable holds the value true. Now we can print is a student,
Okay, here we made this B as capital. Please guys, make sure it is not capital, like ensure your syntax is clear written. Now you can see is a student, we print the value true. So the bool is shorter for boolean. Yeah, I told you before, it is shorter for boolean. It store variables. Variable name is a student, and true is means yes. Yeah. Imagine a light switch labeled is a student. If it is on, the student is active, true. And if it is off, not a student. This means it is false. So as we printed that value, we got to know that the Boolean stores only two variables.
So, bonus tip, we are going to say about variable naming rules. So, variable names must start with a letter or underscore and cannot contain a space. Use meaningful name like height, username, or is login.
And also avoid virgule names like X or data, unless you are doing math or temporary work. Yeah.
So that also has val and dynamic. Val automatically figure out the type of data type, while dynamic can change type at runtime.
Be careful using dynamic too much can cause your codes messy. Prefer explicit types, but you can use it when possible. Yeah. Actually, we have var. Like for example, we can say var call a name variable name country, which is equal to, for example, Kenya. Then we add a semicolon. So if you want to learn this to output this country, oh sorry, I wrote country. If we want to output this variable, we can say print country, then you add a semicolon. So to run this, we can do like this. Then as you can see here, the value of our variable country is Kenya. So the Kenya is a string. It has no other type which is not string. It is a string. So for var, you cannot change this. So let's see this. If we want to say like now, we want to say country equals to 21. Add a semicolon. Then when we want to print, as you can even see here, we have something like an error. So if you want to print country, now there is an error which says a value of type int can't be assigned to a variable of type a string. As you can see here, when we use var, you cannot change it later. That type will remain the same as the way you created it. Yeah.
So let's continue by explaining dynamic. So here on dynamic, you have to to write, let's comment this code. Let's comment it. So here, to declare dynamic, we have to type dynamic. Let's say like a variable name, like anything. Let's say anything equal to whole numbers, like 42. Add semicolon. So as we said, dynamic can change the name at or the type at runtime. So here you can print your variable anytime. So if you try to run your code, you see that we have 42. So let us check if we can change our variable at runtime. So here we can say that we can also declare again anything, say anything equal to like change the data type. So at the first we said for 2, let's type a text. So add colon and quotation, add quotation and say like Canada, and add semicolon and print again anything. So if you try to run again your code, you see that we have 42 and Canada. You see that we can change our dynamic. You can change type at runtime. You can change the data type of your value at runtime. So the challenge we are going to give you: pause the video and create variable on of your name, age, height, and whether you like programming, then print the code.
I will go first. My name is Godson. My age is 21 and my height is 1.80.
So let's go and create this program.
Just put them in comment section.
So sometimes we need value that don't change, like the value of pi or the number of the day in a week. For that give us final and constant. So I'm going to show you how to declare final and constant and also to print it. So first of all, you have to type final. I'm going to start with final. So you type final and variable like city equal Toronto, and if you want to print it, you type print city. So but there is other way you can use to declare using final. You can say final and continue with the data type you want, like number. If you want in numbers, you can type int like age equal 15. So you can use data type or leave and print. If you try to print age, you see that you have our age 15, and even if you don't say the data type, the dot is going also to detect that data type. So And also on constant, said const like pi equal 3.14, and you can also print pi. So you see that we have our variable, our value of variable. So that's how we declare our final and constant.
Actually, final means the variable can only be set once. Const means it's a compare time constant. So, like here, example in the codes, uh, they mentioned pi, the variable called pi, which is equal to 3.14. It is a const because it never changes.
Yeah, and if you are not sure, use final by default. So next time you are coding in Dart and need a value that wouldn't change, ask yourself, do I know this value now or will I know it later? If it's now, use cost, but if it is later, use final. And if you are unsure, use final. Just like choosing your outfit for the day. Once it's on, it's on.
Here there is like a challenge, a challenge you can try. Like try declaring your birth year as const and your favorite color as final, then print them to see. Yeah.
Yeah, perform operations like math or comparisons. So we have 5 arithmetic operators. We have addition, we have subtraction, we have multiplication, and we have division and also remainder. So I'm going to start with addition. As you see here, we have variable a and b. A is equal to 10 and b is equal to 3. So to print the addition or to make addition, you have to type print a plus b, a plus b. So once you run the code, we're going to see that a plus b is equal to 13.
Okay. Proceeding here on subtraction, uh, it is it is having the same syntax as addition. You also print uh, a minus b. Remember to put a semicolon. Then you run the code. Now you can see we're having 7.
So next up, we are going to perform multiplication. You do print a star b. So once you run the code again, going to see that we have 30 as a is equal to 10 times 3, that is equal to 30.
On division, we also print a slash b. We print a slash b to make a over b. Yeah. We also get the same results. Now it is 3.333333.
And also I'm going to continue with remainder. So here you type print a modulus b. So once we run the code, going to see our remainder is 1 because 10 divided by 3 leaves the remainder of 1. Here I have two variables, x and y. So we're going to use these symbols to compare value and it's return true or false. So in relational operators, we have four operators. We have greater than, less than, equal, and not equal. So first of all, on greater than, if x, it is going to compare if x is greater than y. So as you see that we have x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10, means that this is false because x is not greater than y. And also on less than, it's going to compare x if x is less than y, and here on equal is going to compare if x is equal to y, and on print on x not equal to y is going to compare if x is not equal to y. So let's run the code. So you see that here on x greater than y you have false, and x less than y you have true because x is less than y, and x is equal to y you have false because x is not equal to y, and here on x is not equal to y have true. But if you try to change the values and let's say that x is greater than y, you can run the code again, and you see that here we have, let's try to zoom out a little. So you see that here we, at the first time here we have, let's run the code again. So here you see that where x is greater than y you have true, but where x is less than y you have false, and x is equal to y you have false, and x is not equal to y you have true. But if you try to make x and y equal, see that where we have the x is equal to y, it is going to return true. Let's check. So you see that here on the third line we have true. We have true because x is equal to y.